Hey guys, welcome back to another Shopify video. This isn't really part of the last series. I'm just doing it as a bit of an extra for the people who asked me if there's other ways they can make money with Shopify without Facebook. I do understand Facebook can get quite expensive and time consuming, so that might not be the best option for some of you guys. So we'll look at Instagram and Shopify. But before we do that, I just want to say a big congratulations to all you guys who made your first sale this week. I had 3 people message me. That's awesome. Just keep on going, and you'll start to see more and more sales roll in as your Facebook ads start to optimize. So I've been using Instagram and Shopify for a while now. It doesn't make me a huge amount of money, but it makes me about $80 a day. We'll go into that soon, our profit. But it only takes me about 1 or 2 hours a week to do this. Most of it's all automatic. And the way I do my income is I base it on time. So because I make about $500 a week from this, and it only takes me 1 or 2 hours a week to do it, then it's worth it. So I have multiple income streams, and I just add this to my other incomes, and then it all adds up to quite a good income by the end of the month. But I base it off time. That's the one thing I base my income off. If something takes me too much time, like let's say I do something that takes me 8 hours a day, and I only make $500 a week, I'm not going to bother with it because I know I can make more. So I just base it off time. So Instagram and Shopify is definitely worth it. I'll show you how I do it. A lot of other people do it. I know 3 successful shops on Shopify right now that are really doing really well. One of them has 400,000 followers on Instagram, and they make a ton of money. So Instagram is another really good way to make money with Shopify. You can make money with Shopify from all types of different sources. You just got to think outside the box. So for instance, there's a guy on our forum who just hit $44,000 worth of sales this month. He's trying to aim for 100K. All of his traffic comes from Google. So he ranked his Shopify website in Google. It's all free traffic. He doesn't spend any money on adverts. And he is on the way to 100K a month just from that. So you just got to look at the other options. You've got Instagram, you've got Pinterest, you've got, I don't even think Twitter would be very good for it, but definitely Pinterest, definitely Instagram. And then you've got search engine optimization, so ranking your shop in Google. There's lots of ways to get traffic to your Shopify stores. It just depends on how much work you are willing to put in to get that traffic. So let's just start straight into this, and we'll show the method of doing this. So how much money can you make? Or how much money is involved? So I have 3 accounts, total of around about 42,000 followers. 1 Shopify store. On average, these are just averages. Sometimes I make more, sometimes I make less. But on average, I make about $80 a day, $560 a week, $2,240 a month. My profit, can't spell very well. Profit per sale is around about $30 to $45, and I sell clothing, niche specific clothing. I do between 2 to 3 sales a day, sometimes more, but it's usually a minimum of 2 sales per day. So yeah, these are just the stats. I could probably do more, but I don't really like to put much time into this because I'm working on other projects. So this is just pretty much sitting here making me free money, and when I do the orders, I simply click a button. Like I said, it probably takes me 1 or 2 hours to set everything up each week for the automatic posting. Maybe an hour a week tops to do the orders, because I use an app that does it all for me. I just click a button. I can fulfill an order within like 30 seconds. So it doesn't take me very long to do all this. Like as I said, the profit is worth it for the time that I put into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is, so let's just say you've got some accounts, right? You want to get niche specific stuff that people are passionate about. Clothing sells really, really good on Instagram, and jewelry as well is pretty good, stuff like that. Health products are really, really big, but I probably wouldn't sell any health products from AliExpress. Nothing that people consume anyway, because you don't really know what's in it. But the first thing I do is I always set up a bot. Now a bot is going to be very confusing for a lot of you guys, but what it does is it likes photos for you, it will follow people for you, and it gets your account noticed. So they'll follow you, you follow them, and then they'll follow you back most of the time. Okay, and the one I use is called a follow liker. I'm not going to go through the actual process of doing it in this video because I do have other videos explaining that. So I'll link that in the video and in the description. But what I do is I open up multiple instances of follow liker, right? You can put multiple accounts in one project, but it just slows everything down. So I'll open a bunch of projects, and then I'll have one account per project. And it just speeds things up if you kind of understand what I'm talking about there. So this is one of my Instagram accounts here. And then I'll have another one in the second project. I just start up a whole bunch of new projects instead of running one project with multiple accounts. But if you do want to know how I set up the bot, check out the other video. But what it does is it gets you noticed and stuff. You're not getting any fake followers, you're getting real followers, you're liking other people's stuff. It saves you from doing it yourself. Could you imagine sitting there following 7,000 people a week, liking thousands of photos? Yeah, you're not going to want to be doing that. That's just way too much time wasted when you could be doing that on other things. So I use a bot to get my followers and traffic to my Instagram accounts. And then what I do is I'll set a schedule, normally every week or 2 weeks, and I will set it for a month. What I'll do is I'll set it for a month, and then I'll go back and I'll just keep adding stuff every one or 2 weeks. And I use onlypult.com. And then what I do is once or twice a week, maybe even 3 times, or even daily if you want, but you don't want to spam it, I'll upload a product. Or you could even have an account just for your product. I do have one account that's just my product. So t-shirts, and crew necks and hoodies, right? That's just all I have. It doesn't get as much as engagement as my other ones, but I do find that I get a lot of followers on there because clothing seems to be very big on Instagram. And the other shops that I know that do very well just post photos of their products. They don't post photos of anything else. So I have 2 accounts that post photos of the niche plus photos of the products once or twice a week, maybe even 3 times, depending on how aggressive I want to be. And then I have one account that specifically posts all the products, just like maybe once a day. With the niche stuff, I usually post 3 times a day throughout different times. So this is what I use, and it sets it up. And if you kind of see where I'm going here, everything's automatic. I don't have to really do much manual work, apart from fulfilling the orders, and that just as a click of a button and loading up the images into this. The next thing is shoutouts. I will actually show you that soon. But first I want to show you about promotions. So once people start to notice you, I don't know, it's probably not going to work for most niches, but for like jewelry and clothing, this works well. People will start to notice you, and you can use them for promotions. So for example, this lady here messaged me and said she was interested, she liked the clothing, right? And she was a model. And I said, well, I can send you some products, and if you like them, you can return in return for a promo. So she'll give me a promo. Now, you will start to get quite a lot of these once people start to take notice of your stuff. People always want free stuff, so you can say, well, sweet, I'll give you some free stuff, you give me a promotion. And you will get a ton of sales from the promotions and a ton of followers. And then you can also contact them and say, hey, I've got some clothing. If you want to check it out, I can send you a free t-shirt or whatever, 2 or 3 t-shirts. You just wear them in a photo or give me a shout out, and we're good, right? We're square. And that's how a lot of Instagram profiles get massive. I see it every day, like profiles. There's like a health product called Slim Tea or something, and they have like 1 million followers. Can you imagine how much money those guys make? And it's all because they pay people or they give people free products to promote their stuff. That's how they get big. Like, could you imagine that tea product with 1 million followers? They must make so much money. Insane amounts of money. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to get your product out there, give it to people to wear, promote, and all that good stuff. Next thing we talked about is in the first slide was shout outs. You might not want to spend a lot of money on your Instagram account, but actually shout outs are quite important. I would suggest spending, I spend about $50 a week on shout outs. Sometimes about 50 to 100. Really just depends. Once again, this is very easy to do. You enter some details and you get shout outs. So I'll show you how to do that quite quickly. Now, Back in the day, you used to have to contact people. They didn't have websites like this. So this makes it a lot easier. So things like igshoutouts.com. You can go through here and find a niche specific Instagram accounts, and you simply enter your details, give them a picture, give them a caption, pay the money, like $20 to get your photo in front of 153,000 followers. And there's heaps and heaps that you can do here. It's all about building that following for your product and then promoting it, right? That's it. And then $12 and you can get in front of 307,000. Now when you click on these guys, there's actually $100 to get in front of 1.7 million. That's a really good price. So if you click on this one here, this isn't the one actually. There was one that showed you like a engagement score. But anyway, you can do all sorts of things like, so for 1 hour is $200. This guy's put his price up, so it's not cheap anymore. Must have updated on the front. But yeah, you get the idea. So just build up the following. This one is very good. It's a lot cheaper, but a lot of it is Spanish accounts. That doesn't matter. I still promote to the Spanish and I get sales. But if you're going to do that, make sure you probably have a language application on your Shopify store so they can change it to their language. A lot of them might not speak English. But yeah, that's really the process I take to make money on Instagram. And it's really a lot cheaper to do than Facebook advertising. Facebook can be very tedious. It can be scary because you can burn through money very, very quickly if you don't set your stuff up correctly. And I would suggest giving it a try. I mean, it's not that, it doesn't cost that much. The bot costs money, but you might be able to get cheaper ones or free ones. I think the one I used was about $90. And yeah, that's really it. So you get your Instagram accounts, your follow bot, your auto poster, get some shout outs, and promote your Shopify product. Now, actually, you can't post links on Instagram if you don't know that. So put the link in your profile, and then when you promote the product, say link in profile, or you can actually put the website in the caption of the photo, but it just won't have a link. But people, if you have a branded Shopify domain or an easy one to remember, then people will just go over and have a look anyway. So try and make sure your store name isn't long and confusing or a weird, strange word that no one wants to type into their browser. But you will get sales from it, so definitely give this a go if you don't want to do Facebook, because a lot of people are saying to me, I don't want to do Facebook, is there any other ways? So I'm giving you another way with Instagram, but this is nothing new. I just want to make sure you guys knew about this because you asked me if there's other ways. And a lot of guys don't really want to mess with the Facebook, and I completely understand. It's not that easy, and a lot of you guys don't have a lot of money to start with. So Instagram's cheap to start with, and once you get on a roll, you don't spend much money at all just on your shoutouts. If you want to get shoutouts, you don't have to get shoutouts. That's not required. It's just a bit of extra to build up the accounts faster. Now, the 500k success story. This is quite interesting. I'll leave a link in the description for this. I don't know if you heard of dankstop.com. It's a cannabis shop, but they launched their store. Two young guys in their 20s, launched their store with $4,000 on Instagram, and they turned it into a 500k a year shop, and now they're on track to $2 million a year. This was actually over a year ago, so they probably hit that mark. They're probably well over $1 million by now. So I'll leave this in the description. Check it out. There's a lot of questions. It's very, very interesting read. These guys grew their Instagram account to 80,000 followers. So 80,000 followers isn't hard to get to. If you look back at mine, I've got around about 42,000. Probably not as active as theirs, but with 80,000 followers, they made $500,000 in revenue. So that's very insane. That's like that's Instagram viral stuff right there. That's a very, very good achievement. And now they have 8 employees and stuff like that. So check this out. It's a very good read. You'll learn a lot from reading all of this stuff. You'll learn some tactics. You'll learn how they did it. But this is a classic example of Instagram done right with an online store. These guys didn't drop ship or anything. They had their own products. So they would have been able to cut costs with shipping and all that sort of stuff and shipping times. But it's still a very great example of what you could do with Instagram. So for you guys that wanted to know, this is how you can do it. And try Pinterest, okay? Pinterest is also another good one. I do know someone doing it at the moment, but I haven't really tried it with my Shopify store, so I can't really give you any advice on that. But try out Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have any questions, ask them below. I do get spammed with a lot of spam, so I don't see a lot of your questions, but I will try and be more up to date with that and go through my questions, comments and stuff every day or every couple of days for you guys. And so yeah, ask me anything and I'll make sure I try to reply back as soon as I can.